Guys, welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. Before we do anything, drop those crowns, elephants in the chat. We are live on multiple platforms, and I want to know where you guys are watching from. I know we have people live on our TikTok live. TikTok, head on over to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. That way you can either chat with us there and I can see your comments more clearly, or you can stay where you are. Either way is fine. And we are live on the Kempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. Be sure to follow us there. And we're, of course, live on the Kempire Daily Twitter. And we're live on the Kempire, the Twitch page. So if you're not following us there, be sure to follow us here. Follow us there as well. Guys, don't forget to like the video if you haven't already. Don't forget to share the video. Share the video on your TikTok. What's going on? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. You know how we like to start the show. We got to get a little music. Got to get a little groove. We're in Miami. I have to say, Miami, watching Miami, The Real Housewives of Miami is going to help with tourism. Because honestly, I feel like going to Miami right now. If it wasn't a pandemic and Miami wasn't open since the pandemic started, I might go. Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. Happy Friday, y'all. Thank God it's Friday. Where did the week go? It's been such a busy week, but you know we recap The Real Housewives of Miami, the reboot of The Real Housewives of Miami, now available on the Peacock streaming app. They're not paying me, but they should. Is now available. If you follow me on TikTok, then you watched it with me last night. Yes, we watched together last night. And it was a solid episode. It was a solid episode. And as I said at the top of this video, they are truly helping with tourism. I don't know if we can live like they do when we visit Miami, but it's giving me that feeling of being in the Caribbean. It's giving me that feeling of being away from this cold weather here in New York City. Like I said, if it wasn't pandemic central, I would go to Miami. You wouldn't tell, though. You couldn't tell that there's a pandemic going on, but that has been Florida. No shade to Florida. I have lots of cousins and families and family that lives in Miami, that lives in Florida, and friends that live in Florida as well. But they're probably not going to see me for a while. I would love to go to Miami, but you never know. I might go, but I'll just be away from a lot of people. But I'm enjoying The Real Housewives of Miami. This is season 4, the reboot of the season. And we are literally almost halfway through the season. Halfway through the season. Pam says, I'm in Florida and it's beautiful here. I bet it is. Don't rub it in, Pamela. Julia says, I want to go to Miami. I haven't been to Miami in a few years. But Miami is definitely probably my favorite part of Florida. Orlando might be the second favorite, but no, sorry, not Orlando. Key West. They actually took, this is what I love about Miami, because there's real money down there. And I had a conversation earlier about, aspirational wealth that a lot of people say that they want to see on the Housewives. And I had to think to myself, I was like, I don't watch the Housewives for aspirational wealth. It's nice to see. But when I got into the Real Housewives of Miami, when I got into the Real Housewives, it was New York, it was New Jersey, and it was Atlanta. There was no aspirational wealth on those platforms. Yeah, you probably had like one or two people that had money, but there was no aspirational wealth. Can we be real? I didn't start watching Real Housewives for Orange County, and even there wasn't a lot of aspirational wealth either. It was really Beverly Hills and Miami. But everyone watches things for different reasons. But I really had to think about, like, was I watching the Real Housewives for aspirational wealth? Nope. No. Britt says BH is where the moolah is at. Some of them. Dorit, we're looking at you. We're looking at you. Some of them. Erica Jane, we're looking at you. Erica Jane did have the wealth, but unfortunately her wealth was bought and paid by victims that her husband stole from, allegedly. Are we still saying alleged for that? Is she still trying to bootleg and steal from people with a bootleg hair extensions and overpriced hair extensions? I heard you guys have been sending me tea, and I appreciate you guys sending me tea. But Erica Jane is put on pause at least till the new season starts to unfold. We spent an entire season talking about Erica Jane and all the investigations into Erica Jane. I am wary, and apparently a lot of you are too. By the end of the season, you all were like checked out of the whole Erica Jane situation, and I don't blame you. Maybe we will check back in next season. We shall see. We will definitely be covering the season, but when it comes to Erica Jane, I'm checked out. I don't care about her $700 hair extensions. If you want to buy them, go ahead. I'm not, clearly. But let's get into this latest episode of The Real Housewives of Miami. I digress way too far off. Way too far off. Okay, 11 says, I can't wait to hear all this tea on Love and Marriage DMV. It's just pouring in. And it's a little uncomfortable to some of the tea that I'm hearing. But anyways, we will get into that. And if you're not subscribed to my podcast, Kempire Radio, be sure to subscribe. Last week's episode, I dropped some tea about Love and Marriage DMV. So be sure to check that out. Kempire Radio on all podcast platforms. And don't forget to rate and review, guys, because it does matter. Mama Allie says, we need a break from EJ. See? A lot of you were telling me that. Look, Pam said it too. I'm tired of EJ too, Kempire. You guys are the curators of pop culture, especially here on the channel, but you are also in regards to what people are talking about. So I kind of get a feel of what you guys are saying. And of course, every once in a while I have to take, creative license and be like, okay, guys, I'm not covering that story. Like that Fallon and Portia story from this past week. You notice I didn't talk about it, right? They love it when we talk about them. So we're not going to. Back to Miami. Aspirational wealth. I love the wealth in Miami. But it's not even just the wealth. Even Alexia at one point, when they go to the biggest penthouse in the United States, Alexia's like, I love my city. I love the beach, the breeze, the water. And I was like, I love your city too, Alexia. I love your city too. I did post a poll about Alexia because I think people are a little bit over Alexia this week. And my poll question in the Kempire Daily YouTube channel live chat, guys, and it is a subscribers only live chat. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. You're getting daily and consistent content here on the channel. I asked the question, do you think Alexia is being a bridezilla or is Guerdy just controlling? As you know, Guerdy, who I love, she gave us another fashion moment this week. Did you guys notice that Gucci suit that she was wearing? Guerdy is bringing the fashion. I think like all the ladies are doing well in the fashion department, but Guerdy, last week it was that red dress with that big red bag. Guerdy, you're fabulous, and I love it. So with 100 votes so far, I said, do you think Alexia is being a bridezilla or Guerdy is just controlling? At 68%, you're saying that Alexia is being a bridezilla. Sorry, Alexia. Damn. She is being a bridezilla, though. Before we get into the episode, I did want to talk about the story because, last week's episode, we talked about the really tense conversation that Todd, Peter, and Alexia had about, what happened with Peter and Frankie and that particular incident. And we all said it. We dissected it. We analyzed it. But Todd is actually opening up and posted on social media more about this. It's a pretty long caption, so I do want to read it because it's important to point out some of the things that he's saying here. But let me take a sip. Okay. So Todd said on social media, and shout out to our friends at Queens of Bravo that capture this. Shout out to all the Bravo and reality TV blogs. You guys do the Lord's work. I can't do everything. Just saying. And as always here on the channel, we cite our sources. So life according to Todd. Okay, Todd. He says this: thank you all for the feedback, and we all appreciate it. Everyone's opinion is valid here in regards to the conversation that he had with Peter and Alexia. Okay. He said it was an awful situation. I just want everyone to know Frankie was not there while this argument took place. They sent him in to close the scene out. So that was editing that we thought Frankie was there. Okay. The entire scene was filmed over 2 hours, and this is what made the final cut. Peter and I were having a conversation alone. The arguing came in I guess he meant when Alexia came over. In the end, this is something much better suited for a professional therapist, as I say. But that's not what the show is about. This is a real issue we have been dealing with for over 4 years, and they wanted us to talk about it on TV. That's not easy. I think the editing is fair, as for sure, I'm super frustrated and feel up against a wall. And yes, I, of course, sympathize with Alexia and Peter's situation. In the end, it was worth it as it shook a few branches and is helping us all get better. We all do discuss this issue, and it's work in progress. And it's a work in progress. There is no Team Todd or Team Peter. Oh, were you guys doing that? Of course you were. Ugh. It's all for Frankie and Peter and Alexia. It's all for Frankie and Peter and Alexia do love this boy more than words can express. My trying to help as an outsider is tough, and hopefully they know it's my love for Frankie. But you are all right about the fact that Alexia, Peter, and myself will do anything for Frankie. We're still learning how. Thanks for all the comments, the good and the bad. We need to hear it all. Shout out to Todd. I think that was such a mature statement. I think that was a really mature statement. And I'm glad that he clarified the editing, because so many of us want to say, blame editing, or so many of us don't even take into account that editing can really shift our opinions on what is happening. Because so many of you are saying, why is Frankie there witnessing this really hostile situation? Although you guys may think he doesn't understand what's going on, he does. But according to Todd, he wasn't there. Producers brought him in towards the end. And producers, I feel like that's irresponsible. I get you're trying to tell a story, but you make Todd, Peter, and Alexia look terrible. And that could have real life effects on people that are taken care of or that represent Frankie when it comes to his well-being. Like, to me, that's irresponsible. I don't think he needed to come in at all. Leave that conversation with all of you. I get they're trying to tell a story, but I feel like that was very irresponsible. But I give it to Todd for addressing this, and I felt the need to make sure that we talked about it this week, because we talked about it a lot last week. And, I try to be fair and try to give everyone sides, and especially if they address something that we've seen on the show. And it is a tough situation. In this episode, Alexia, and I love Alexia and Marisol's friendship. I really do. I love them together. I still wish, wait, sidebar. I said this when I was watching this live. Why does Marisol's house look like that? I mean, in Miami, when we go from Alexia's home and then we go to Marisol, I mean, we didn't get to see the full thing, but as soon as I saw the shot of it, I was like, wait, what is that shack? Sorry, Marisol, I love you, but I was just like, whoa. It's probably beautiful. I mean, inside looks beautiful, but I was just like, what was that? I've digressed. But I love their friendship because it feels genuine. But she also breaks down in her conversation with Marisol about the struggles of trying to get Todd and Peter in a better place. And at one point, Marisol says that he is a soft soul, Peter. Look, she knows him in real life. We only know him, and sidebar to the shady editors, flashing back to Peter losing it. See, I have to share these random shady thoughts with you guys because I'm not alone when I have these thoughts, okay? Guys, we are going to drop the call-in link because I do want to hear your thoughts on the latest episode of the Real Housewives of Miami. Let's get to 150 likes. We already have close to 300 people in our YouTube live chat and Facebook. And we have 30 people in our... Stormy said so shady. Sorry. And hold on. Profi says Guerdy is so iconic. Her fashions are bringing it. She's bringing it. Sunny says, you need a TV show, Kempire. You're so great. One day. And then we'll look back on this like, remember when? One day, y'all. Everything's got to be right. Everything's got to be right. Nora says, we love the shade, Kempire. Good afternoon, guys. Thank God it's Friday. I hope that you guys have big plans for the weekend. It's windy here in New York City. Don't know what's going on, but it's the wintertime. At least it's warmed up a little bit. Miami is a perfect escape for those of us that live in areas that are cold and windy and not so, beautiful. I mean, New York's beautiful in its own way. All right. But okay. Back to this episode. So she has that conversation. Look, I think in Todd's situation, look, he is 4 years of following this family, and everyone that's on the outside is going to have their own opinion on if Alexia and Peter are doing the right things for Frankie. They're not experts in this. They weren't prepared for his accident. And even years down the road from it, they're still trying to figure things out, but they have struggled in taking care of him. They have. We talk about caretakers, when it comes to when someone gets sick, but there are caretakers. It's not just when someone's gotten sick. This is going to be a lifelong thing for Alexia and Peter. And Peter being the sibling, and also he's not the most mature. He's not the most mature, but he also misses probably the brother that he grew up with. Remember, this happened to Frankie after an accident. So I don't know if he has a soft soul, Marisol, but I do believe that Peter is not the devil incarnate or anything like that. Even though, sidebar, last week we talked about him getting arrested and for hitting his girlfriend. I don't think he's the devil incarnate, but he definitely needs therapy. There's a lot of anger. I hope he is getting therapy. I don't think he is, though. And I also don't think he's a soft soul. Sorry, Marisol. Sorry, Marisol. Oh, let me get back to my actual recap notes. So at the top of the episode, we get a fabulous double date from Martina and Julia and Nicole and her husband. Congratulations to Nicole and her husband. Congratulations to Nicole and her now fiance. She was scared to get, married because of everything that happened with her dad. But we just heard this week that Nicole is engaged. Congratulations to Nicole. Good for you, girl. Do it on your own terms. I hope you didn't feel pressure to do it. I just love the fabulosity of them getting in their private plane. And first of all, her soon-to-be husband flies. I don't know if I'm okay with that, because I always think about John F. Kennedy Jr., because he used to also be a pilot, and he used to go fly back and forth from New York City to the Hamptons, and that's how he died. That's the only thing I don't love. But she's like, before we had Grayson, we would decide, let's go to New Orleans for lunch. That sounds amazing. Where can I fly from New York that would be pretty fast? That would be fabulous. How long would it be a flight from here to New York to Florida? That's what, like, by airplane, it's usually like 3.5 hours? We could do that. Beauty Within says, I love Nicole. And Nicole is going to get it this season from some of the ladies. We saw in the preview for next week, Larson's giving it to her. I know Adriana doesn't necessarily like her either. I like Nicole. she's already giving us a lot. You know, we talk about Alexia carrying the season. She's also someone that has an actual storyline. I love the fact she came from nothing to create this tremendous wealth. And some of you were shady to her soon-to-be husband, saying that maybe he also is doing shady business. We do not know that. Can't somebody just make money legitimately? There are plenty of people that are making money legitimately, like me. Not yet, not the big money like him, but you know. But I just can only imagine later when I have big money, people are like, oh, you know what he did to get that? What? Work hard? Jessica, thank you so much for the super chat. Jessica says, Frankie seems fine and well-adjusted, being that he is no longer neurotypical is what Peter seems to be bothered by. It's ableist. I don't know. Like, can we just lay off of Peter this week? Look, this week. Because I just feel like until we are in that situation, it's hard to judge that situation. And maybe because I have a background of working with people with developmental disabilities, and I know how challenging that can be for a family. Mind you, I did it as a work shift and not 24/7 like these families are doing with. So we got to give them some sort of grace. Jenny says, I like Nicole. Her dad is creepy, like that uncle your parents warned you about. I don't know if he's creepy. I don't think creepy is the word, but I get the uncle part. Like, I don't think he's the creepy uncle. I think he's the messy uncle, the Rolling Stone dad, maybe. I don't know. But that's at the end of the episode. Before we get there, Julia and Martina and them go on a double date to this restaurant in Key West. I haven't been to Key West in years, but Key West is beautiful as well. I've never been to this restaurant, but this is a friend of Nicole. So Nicole knows fabulous people too that have restaurants and stuff. I need to go there. Mama Allie says he's sleazy. Stop talking about her dad like that. That is very disrespectful. I'm joking. Munzie says her dad was clearly drunk or damn, why we had to go there? He looked a little flush. Mile, I don't know how to pronounce that. I apologize. Quebec. We'll just call you Quebec. I work too in the hospital for children, and it's hard. See, it's not an easy thing. So I try not to judge. You know, we love to judge here. Don't get us wrong. We love to judge, and we have. But I'm trying to give Alexia and Peter a little grace. Check last week's episode that we shaded them. At least we shaded Peter. Okay. But I love I like Nicole and her fiancés. I like their energy. And I'm really loving Martina. Martina's coming out of her shell. She was like, when he was like, oh, I feel like I'm here with all the girls. She was like, I'm not one of the girls. I was like, yes, Martina, owned that. I loved it. And I want to see more of them hanging out and just this fabulous life of let's get into a plane and go to Key West. Why not? Anyways, okay. Lisa and her kids at the sugar factory. If I was on the fence about having kids, that really took me off the fence. It was like, oh, hell no. Apparently her nanny quit. And, you know, she's still talking about how her husband, Lenny, does not believe that she does anything. But if she's really taking care of her kids and without a nanny's help, even if she does have a nanny, you're still a mother. You're still making sure that nanny is doing what the nanny's supposed to do. But her taking them to the sugar factory, I was like, girl, they don't need any more sugar. I like Lisa, though. I didn't love Lisa in the beginning of the season, but I'm just warming up to her. I just like her vibe. She seems very laid back. She doesn't seem pretentious. Even though she has this very fabulous Miami lifestyle, she doesn't seem pretentious. She seems fun. Tiana, thank you so much for the super chat. Happy Friday. Do we know what type of lawyer he is? Because partners at big law firms can be on a contract for $600,000 plus a year, plus multi-big bonuses during the year. Girl, I come from working in corporate America at working for a billion-dollar law firm. I don't mean to call you girl like that. You know, I'm like, girl, hey, girl. You're right. They make a lot of money. They would get $1 million bonuses. So there are lawyers, especially corporate lawyers, that make a lot of money. But, you know, we look at people like Tom Girardi, that was supposed to be working for victims. They don't usually make that type of money. So Yeah, we understand that. Look, not all lawyers are, personal injury or attorney lawyers like Sweet James that don't necessarily make a lot. They make good money, but not the level of money that they exude on the show. I'm not sure what type of lawyer he is. I'm sure someone will know in the chat, or we will find out what type of lawyer he is at a later date. Regardless, though, not only is he a lawyer, he looks like he's very much into real estate too, because he's already talking about selling the home that they're in for like $40 million. And who knows how much of a profit they're going to make from selling. Real estate is a good place to make money. It's a very good place to make money. That's where a lot of people make their money and invest their money. I need to do more of that, but look, patience. Guys, it's about that time again. Don't forget to get your coldest water bottle. Yes, get your cold. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Listen, you know what? Look. Get your coldest water bottle today. It comes in multiple colors, multiple sizes. Love when you guys tag me in your coldest water bottle. Use a discount code KEMP10 for not 50% off, 10% off. 10% off. But that is a lot. That is a lot too, because they're also having sales on their website, coldest.com. Get your coldest water bottle today. And they don't just have water bottles. If you need something for your coffee, they have that too. Go to coldest.com, use a discount code KEMP10. And I use it all the time. It's one of the ways I remind myself to drink my water. This is a 32 ounce, I believe. Yep, a 32 ounce. Okay, back to this episode. If you're just joining us, we are talking about the Real Housewives of Miami. Thank you, Alim, for the super sticker. Appreciate you supporting the channel. All right, because I love seeing the super stickers, and I have to have my YouTube open for me to see it. Let me see the final results of this. You guys still think that Alexia was being a bridezilla. You all still think that she was being a bridezilla. At 69%, you all calling her a bridezilla. I'm going to end the poll there. Don't forget, guys, we will be live tonight at 5:30 p.m. Eastern for our And Just Like That recap. So, I have to watch it again. I also have to listen to the podcast. So stay tuned for that, because I'll drop some, information that wasn't on the show and explain some parts of it that you don't know. And don't forget to drink something spicy and to bring your best shoes for when you call in. All right. Dr. Payne, what's going on, Dr. Payne? Nicole's husband is running ads now that he is an insurance attorney. Oh, interesting. I love it, the fact that we have sources in all locations. Thank you, Dr. Payne. Doc, thank you. And thank you for, being a healthcare worker. We appreciate all our healthcare workers, just saying. Alim says, bridezilla, but the universe saying, girl, don't get married. Damn. She already got married, though, y'all. Let it go. Let it go. She already got married. I actually like Todd. Maybe because he's from New York. Maybe because he's from my hometown of Staten Island. I don't know. I didn't love the conversation from last week, but I actually like him. I like him for her. She's been through a lot. Sidebar, can we have a side conversation about this? I saw that, Leah Black was calling her out for outing her late husband. Do we consider that her outing him, especially when he was lying to her during their marriage about having this other lover and his secret lifestyle? Is that outing him or telling her story? Because he never told her what he was doing. And this is coming from a gay man. I don't know if I consider that outing or her just telling her story, because he never told her. We can have that conversation. I want to hear what you guys have to say about that. This is good for, what do you think about the Tristan and Chloe situation? What part? There's just so much. There's just so much in regards to that. Guys, if you miss any of my Tristan and Chloe stories, be sure to check that out on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. I go in at length. And last night I posted another video about Kanye West. Send help. Send help. Kanye West is facing a criminal investigation right now. And I hear now that he's trying to, get out of there. Sherry says Leah Black just wants to be back on the show. Mocha says more like telling her story. That's how I felt. I didn't feel like she was outing him. Nora says not at all. Alexia has been so gracious about talk. I agree. And the same could be said about her telling about her father. Georgia said, oh, hey, Jordan. Jordan says, this is complex, to be honest. And that's why I said I wanted to have the conversation, because I'm just like, I don't know if I consider that outing. I don't know if I consider that outing. Leah's just trying to sell face masks. You know what? Leah's just nasty because she wasn't asked back. Shout out to all my moderators. Guys, don't forget to show the moderators some love when you come into the live chat. Shout out to all my moderators because you already know I'm handling a lot of things behind the scenes and hosting a show. So they help to have the conversation be friendly and fun in our subscribers only live chat. Shout out to our moderators on TikTok and on, of course, YouTube. Appreciate you all being here for our multiple lives every single day here on the channel. We keep everyone busy. We keep everyone busy. All right. So back to this episode. Guerdy's raising money for for Haiti, but she reveals, as you know, last week that her brother and her two nieces died in the earthquake from 2010. I wasn't sure until this week, was it the recent earthquake or the one back in 2010? Either way, they are still rebuilding from the earthquake in 2010 in Haiti. So she's trying to use the platform that she's on to talk about that and to raise money. But I was so distracted by Guerdy's beautiful Gucci suit. I said, Guerdy is bringing fashion. But she's also planning Alexia's wedding, and Alexia calls her during this meeting to let her know, I figured out what venue I want, because she didn't like any of the venues that Guerdy was suggesting to her. We later find out Guerdy says that the venue has pulled out. The venue has pulled out. Look, I've never planned a wedding, but I can understand how that is frustrating when you're not able to find a venue because that's so important. But I do feel as if Alexia is being a little dramatic. I think she's being a little dramatic. I think she is very frustrated because of the family issues. I think there's a lot going on, but she is carrying the season. She really is carrying the season. She has like so many stories. She's getting married. We're not going to see her get married on the show, unfortunately. I wanted to see her get married on the show. I guess not. But I think they end up doing a destination wedding. Maybe that was just the easiest thing for them to do. I already know. Future lover, future husband. We are doing a destination wedding. I always have these plans about my wedding. Not that I'm dreaming of a wedding, but if I was to have a wedding, I always say, wait, I need to really think about the other person, shouldn't I? Because they might want to I want my wedding. I've always dreamed of my wedding to be this. So I'm like, I need to stop being so selfish. Oh, hold on. Let me see what you guys are saying in chat. Yes. Guys, I didn't even realize. Sometimes I don't even look at the number of people we have in the live chat. We have almost 400 people in our live chat. Let's get to 200 likes. I'm going to drop the call-in link. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this latest episode of The Real Housewives of Miami. Yes, it is back. Season 4 is now available on Peacock, the streaming app. They're releasing episodes every single Thursday. They're not paying me, but they should. Imagine they did reach out and say, we're going to pay you. I'd be like, oh, that doesn't mean I'm not going to give you the real conversation. I hope people realize that. That's why I'm so, when it's certain brand partnerships, I'm like, I hope you realize I'm still going to talk about you. Just saying. I'm still going to talk about you. I cannot be bought. Let me just drop this call link before I forget, because I get so sidetracked. All right. Let me just pin this here, guys. If you're just joining us, of course, don't forget a new episode of my podcast, Kempire Radio, will be coming out this week. But if you missed last week's episode, New Year, New Boo, be sure to check that out. More information is available at kempireradio.com, or you can just look for us, Kempire Radio, on all major podcast platforms. And it's very, very important, guys. Don't forget to rate and review. All it takes is a couple of seconds for you to rate and review. That will help bring more people to the Kempire Radio podcast. And trust and believe, you're not getting the same hot topics that we talk about here on this platform. We're talking about some of the things that I haven't talked about anywhere else. I'm dropping tea on stories that I haven't talked about anywhere else. So stay tuned for that. And I might have to talk a little bit more about what's going on with Monique and this whole love and marriage DMV situation. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. So back to this. So they have a pajama party. Sidebar, I'm really loving Nicole and Lisa's friendship, their growing friendship. I'm really loving their friendship. But that's where Lisa reveals that she's having a little bit of a situation with Alexia. But I also think anyone that's friends with someone that's planning a wedding probably gets that a little bit of annoyance from that friend planning the wedding because it's so stressful. This is no shade to my friends that have weddings coming up, because they have not stressed me out with their stress. Shout out to my friends. But I can imagine that might be me. No, I'm not going to stress anybody out with my stuff, because I don't tell people my stuff. I'm like, look, I'm dealing with it. Don't worry. That's just me. But we're starting to see a little bit of a crack in the friendship with Lisa and Alexia, but they're real friends. So much so when she's filming her confessional, Alexia's calling her. I love those moments, because I'm like, okay, they're really friends. They're really talking outside of the show. So many of these housewives do not talk outside of the season. So I do love their friendship. And damn it, do we all have doppelgangers in the world? Because Alexia and Teresa Giudice are doppelgangers for each other, because they sound the same. They look the same. What is going on? Even with the work that they've had done. Just saying. Got to point out the obvious sometimes. Pajama party, the biggest penthouse in the United States. I love the fabulosity that we're getting in the Real Housewives of Miami. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Because I didn't love this place, to be honest with you. The decor, it was just big for no reason. But I love the balcony, the ocean in the background. And I realized we have a lot of, we have a large cast. We have a lot of housewives, and we have a lot of friend ofs. And I think that's part of the reason why Miami is so interesting this season. And I love the fact that, we are big on the housewives, and can they host? Can they really host something? Are they providing food? Are they providing something? Lisa can host. She provided a beautiful space. There's food, there's alcohol, there is pajamas shipped in from London. I mean, look, to me, they were ugly, but, we know that they were quality. They were at least quality. Okay. Wait a second. I just want to make sure I'm not missing it. Jessica says, I heard Housewives and immediately I'm staying here. Oh, welcome, Jessica. We are talking about the Real Housewives of Miami. And if you enjoy content like this, we just recapped the Real Housewives of Orange County yesterday. So if you missed that recap, be sure to check that out as well. Art says, Marisol needs to go. Why? I just said last week I want some more of Marisol. I want some more of her. I didn't like her pulling Guerdy to the side, but I feel like Marisol is that friend for Alexia that will speak up for Alexia, because Alexia is not going to speak up for herself. But I also don't think, I've never planned a wedding, so I'm trying to wonder, for 150 guests, is 4 bartenders enough? I don't know. But we have to also remember, this isn't Guerdy's first wedding. This isn't Guerdy's first event. She's been featured in in Vogue. But I feel like she's questioning. Look, Guerdy is also an event planner. I know some event planners. You have to have a certain type of personality to get things done. But she's going to break the news to Alexia that the venue's gone. She does, after Marisol is like, you need to stop stressing her out, because you're stressing me out, because she stresses me out. And Guerdy's like, what? I don't like how that's handled, because Alexia, you're a grown woman. Have the conversation with Guerdy, because this is, first of all, is Guerdy doing this for free? Because if Guerdy's doing this for free, shut up. Because an event planner is not cheap, especially a wedding planner. If she's doing this for free, shut up. If she's doing it for a discount, shut up a little bit. All right, let me take a couple of calls, because I'm just running my mouth. We're talking about the Real Housewives of Miami, guys. If you enjoy content like this and you're watching the replay, I want to know your thoughts on Miami. Are you enjoying the season so far? What is your favorite moment so far? How do you feel about Alexia? Is she a bridezilla? Let's ask Jordan. Jordan.
Hey, friend.
How are you?
I'm good. So we figured this out. So we figured this whole thing out. The community that I've created, Georgia Carolina, is its own independent country or state, if you will.
Oh.
And I am your local Congresswoman, Jordan Renee. Hi.
Oh.
Hi, how are you doing? We figured it out. We have figured it out.
Okay,
Oh,
what did
and
we
by the
figure
way,
out?
I hope you catch the mention of you that I did in my recent video.
Oh no, I didn't. I really have no time. no shade. I really, when I'm watching stuff, I'm watching TV to recap it here.
I really just want you to see the picture of you that I used. It's just
Oh
really
my God,
funny
I'm
and it makes me
scared.
giggle. It just makes me
Scared. But thank you.
But yeah. No, it's all good. No, this is this is exactly what this franchise needed. Like, we needed Miami back. Like, because it just seems like all of the other Housewives franchises were getting very monotonous and very one tone. And it's like I was saying last time about how the focus on this franchise seems to be more on the individual wives and less about group drama, but it just all seems to like make the whole show better.
Yeah.
But to specifically answer your question, it's not even that Alexia is being a bridezilla. She's being an incompetent bride. It's like she literally refuses to make a decision. Like, she doesn't like she can't figure out a venue. She almost can't figure out a date. She can't figure out where she wants to be, when she wants to be there, what she likes, what she wants there, what flowers she wants, which child she wants to be there, if she gonna figure out if they gonna get along before or after they get married. Like, she don't seem to know nothing. And also, that is a very valid question. Is Guerdy doing this for free? Because she's putting up she's putting up with a whole lot. Like, and she already said in her confessionals, like, if this was just a regular old client, like if this wasn't my homegirl, aka if this wasn't my way onto this show, I would have fired you a long time ago. I would have fired you as a client a long time ago. So the fact that you were kind of my way into this show, and not only did you like get me a friend of, you got me business, and you got me a whole like orange.
She's a full-time housewife, Guerdy.
Yeah, like she got a whole full-time coin, and she got business on top of her business. That's what they not see. This is why the fourth wall needs to go away. Because if Guerdy would have just said that and be like, girl, listen, don't let these cameras and this little chick fool you. But I've been planning these parties way before I came on these cameras. You really need to put some respect on my business.
Yeah. It also doesn't make her look good as a business person.
Huh?
It also doesn't make her look good as a business person, which can hurt her business.
Yeah, because it's like, it's almost like she's setting you up to plan a bad wedding. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. Luckily, we won't see the wedding on the show, though.
It's very terrible, especially because this is this is a lot of what they're talking about when it comes to like what Guerdy and Alexia have going on. Mind you, when it comes to Alexia, I just really, this whole conversation about are we outing Herman and the father or not?
Yeah.
This is what I was talking about when I sent you that tweet and was like, when are you going live again? Because we need to talk. This is what I was talking about. Because I was like, this is very complicated. Because, mind you, the man did die in the closet.
Yeah.
Right? So it does add some validity to the question of, is she outing this man?
Yeah.
But you almost like give her a bone because of the way that she's doing it. Like, it's like, this is where telling your story and telling other people's business kind of blurs. That's where that line blurs, is because, like, yes, this is a part of your story and you're telling your experience. Your experience just happens to be sort of outing another person, even though the man is dead. Like, if he was alive, I feel like it would be a lot worse. But the fact that he is passed on, I feel like it just kind of adds a little bit of like, well, Like how people wait till their parents die to come out. Like that.
But if he was being deceitful to her, like let's say if he was alive and he was being deceitful to her, and she chose to tell her story that, oh, he was cheating on me with another man, is that still considered outing him?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
because she doesn't have to mention the fact that it was with another man. That, like, if you loved him at all, you can respect that much. You can out him and say he been cheating, he been laying it low and spreading it wide all through the Miamis. But you don't got to say with who.
But you know how we would have found out, and then we would have
found out, but you don't got to be the one to say it. You can just do what Portia did and be like, I don't know who that man is tooting up his derriere to.
Damn.
Clock your references, children.
I forgot about that. All right, Jordan, I got to let you go because we got to get through the rest of these callers, and I got to get out of here. But I appreciate you calling in. Have a great weekend.
You too, sweetheart.
Bye. All right, Miss Brooklyn's backstage. Danielle's backstage. I see Alex is backstage. We're going to take a couple more callers, guys. But if you're just joining us, we're talking about the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Miami. You can see the latest episode on the Peacock streaming app. They are not paying me, but they should. Miss Brooklyn, we're going to bring you up. What's going on, Miss Brooklyn?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
How are you?
Specifically calling in from Mama Ali. She requested it earlier today.
Why? What happened?
So I'm calling in just for her. No, she gave me a nice shout out and said she likes it when I call. I'm her favorite caller, so she said. So calling in for her. Just to kind of touch on what Jordan said before us. I feel that she didn't. First of all, Leah Black need to mind her business. It's not her relationship. It's not your ex-husband, husband, whatever it is. It's got nothing to do with you. Sit down and have several seats.
Yes.
If everybody recalls, and if you don't recall, you can go on Peacock and watch it. Herman was outed at the season 3 reunion. I believe it was the model who said something about the rumors about your husband being gay. Yeah. So this information was already in the streets.
Yeah.
This information was already out there with, the talk or the rumors or the gossip about Herman. So in my opinion, I don't feel that Alexa really outed him because, we live here in New York and we might not know about it, but it seemed like everybody in Miami did know about it.
Yeah.
And it's 50-50 on if he was alive or if he was dead, whether she had a right to out him. My thing is, when you do something that dirty to another person and it affects their lives the way that affects people's lives, cheating on somebody, having an affair, it can really crush somebody's soul. It can really crush somebody's psyche. And I hate to say it, and I don't mean it in a bad way, but when you find out as a woman, when you find out that your husband was sleeping with another man, that can be a really brutal type of blow.
Like a blow to the ego?
It's a blow to an ego. It's like, what did I do wrong? Like, what was it about me that you went, you didn't go to another woman, you went to a man. Like, if you went to another woman, okay, but you went to a man. Either you lied, like you've lied to me all this time. I wouldn't have married you if I knew you were gay. Like you take away somebody's freedom of choice when you do something like that. And the consequences are the consequences. And if he was alive and she chose to deal him that blow and make it public, then those are the consequences that you have to live with, because you don't do that to a person. You don't enter into that type of relationship with that kind of lie. It's unacceptable to me, and this is just my opinion. This is not Kempire Radio's opinion. This is not the opinion of anybody in the chats, the mods, the moderators, nobody else's opinion. My personal opinion is you don't do that to a person. You don't take away their choices from them in that way. And that's pretty much what he did. He took away her choice of being in that relationship by lying.
Yeah.
Yes, I think Guerdy. I don't think Guerdy is getting paid, but yes, Guerdy is the only one who's bringing the fashions to that place.
Oh my
She
gosh.
is the only one who is bringing fashion from top to bottom. Love her. I think Alexia doesn't want to make any decisions because that way, if anything goes wrong, she can blame it on somebody else. She doesn't want to take ownership for it.
Mm.
I not love Todd. I like Todd, and especially after that statement he released, it was a very classy statement. He was very he he didn't blow up the way other people do sometimes, and he kept it very monotone, stated the facts, and please be patient with us. We're working through this. I appreciated that statement. There was one thing about the conversation with Alexis had with Marisol that rubbed me a little bit the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
She stated to Marisol that Peter states how his life would have been different if Frankie hadn't been in that accident. Yeah. And I just looked at my television and said, how about how Frankie's life would have been different? Yeah. It didn't happen to you. And I understand that as a family member, you bear a burden of it, but you don't bear nearly the burden that Frankie bears on a day-to-day basis. So that's kind of like how your life will be different. You can still walk around and go out and live a relatively normal life and have a relatively normal life. Your anger management issues are aside from Frankie's accident. It's almost like he's blaming Frankie's accident on some of the poor choices and actions that he's doing. And Alexa, again, is co-signing and enabling that. And I didn't like that at one bit. But one thing that you didn't mention on, and I think we need to discuss, is Adriana's actions during that slumber party with Julia, talking about, remember whose side you're on, when she chose to do the transfer of the almonds with Lisa and not her. You would almost think that Adriana was her wife instead of Martina.
She was very transparent on why she feels such a closeness with Julia. Because can I finish my sentence, please?
Go ahead.
But it's because she feels like that's her only support right now, because her kids are grown up. They're not staying in contact with her. I want to be fair to Adriana. So now I'm starting to understand why she feels this connection to Julia, because that's like her bestie. I'm not saying it's right, but she is coming across like a very jealous girlfriend, even though they're not girlfriends. They're girlfriends, but not girlfriends.
One, if that is your only friend in the world, then what are you doing wrong?
Have you met Adriana?
I'm just saying, I have some really close besties in this world, but I mean, I have more than one friend. Okay.
I'm not gonna brag.
I have two. No.
Lord. No. All right. I have to go, Miss Brooklyn, but I always appreciate when you call in. Have a great rest of your day.
See you later. Have a good day.
All right. Bye. All right, Danielle, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Danielle? Danielle, are you there?
Here I am.
What's going on, Danielle?
Hey, guys.
Not the silence.
So I'm glad Miss Brooklyn brought up Adriana, because that's who I don't like her. I'm not here for I didn't like her in the previous seasons. The whole jealousy thing. And I think, yes, I don't know. It's just, it's two mean girls, not pink plastic, that's me. Too plasticky, you can't sit with us. And I'm all here for the mean girls. I love it. But Adrian, it's the vibes I'm getting. I'm not feeling it. She can sit down. And why did she have her sunglasses on for like a whole hour when they got to the condo? And I feel like the furniture there was a little dated. It was a beautiful space. Yeah. I feel like it was a little dated. I wanted them to, for it to be the largest penthouse in the United States, I wanted them to update it a little more.
I think the reason why she had the sunglasses on, because all that, remember, it was bright in there. There were no curtains.
The only one, if you notice, because I was getting ready to text
some people's eyes are a little bit more sensitive.
She finally took them off at some point. And then let's talk about the pajamas. The pajamas look like Meredith's suit from the reunion.
But probably more expensive.
The pajamas more expensive?
Yes.
Yeah, because a glue gun wasn't used to put the feathers on. That's what that.
Oh, God.
And I don't know how I feel about Guerdy being the wedding planner.
Okay.
I
Why?
agree with everyone. No, because I agree with everyone. If she's doing it for free, to your point, shut up. And I mean, I just feel like, because at this point now you're like, you've allowed her on this platform with you. You're using her services, but now you're trying to make it like she's not doing her work. She is doing what she's trying. And the point of wedding planners is to help prevent you from stress and stuff.
Yeah.
So she's trying to make sure she comes to you with proper information to alleviate some of that or relieve some of that stress that you're not supposed to have. But in other token, she's not even ready. She doesn't have a date. She doesn't have her stuff in order either. Like, I know this isn't her first wedding, so why are we making such a big deal about it? You've had a big wedding already, so do you have to make a big deal? And it sounds like he is having issues with your kids anyway. So is this the man for you? Because
she married a man already.
Well, I think a divorce is coming then. If she's already married, I wouldn't be surprised if they're divorced soon.
Leave Todd alone.
No, I'm not blaming Todd. I'm blaming her. I just think she's too inconsistent with stuff, and she's not speaking up about something. Something's not coming out, and I guess it's going to come out later. And then Larsa. I don't know what Larsa's doing. Why do we have Larsa back?
We barely got her this episode.
That's my point. So what is... Anyway.
She's hosting them in the Hamptons next week. Yay!
Okay. We'll see.
Oh, damn. Saying Jay loves Larsa. He was in our TikTok chat live last night. I'm saying he loves Larsa. And he was like very upset that she only had one scene this episode. And we didn't even talk about it till now.
Because there's nothing to talk about. Even like last week when Larsa took her daughter shopping, we had nothing to talk about. What are we talking about with Larsa? Only thing Larsa gave us is that she's an OnlyFans and she claims that people pay hundreds of dollars for her feet. No.
I believe it.
Yeah. I mean, I believe she's probably getting the money, but I think it's more people because they're like, oh, that's Scottie Pippen's, that's wife. Like, I think it's more of a ego thing than really because they want to suck on her toes or something. I don't think it's all of that.
You just said suck on her toes. Goodbye.
It's the feet fetish people that you can, I mean, it's real, like that's a real thing. It's feet fetish people out here. You can get your Amazon list together. They will buy you stuff off your list. I have a buddy.
Why do you know this?
I'm getting ready to tell you why. I have a buddy who has a foot fetish, and he said that I could probably get a lot of stuff off my Amazon and some few coins here and there and pay for my feet to get pedicured on a regular basis if I opened up one of those pages.
Wait, so is your buddy looking at your feet?
This is him looking at my feet, yeah. But I don't have corns and bunions and stuff. He told me, he broke it down. He was like, the arch is a big deal, the toes, the how much toenail you have on, like it's a thing. And people have fetishes. Yes, Adriana was $5 foot. She was mad about that. $5 foot long, like Subway. Yes.
Oh my God. Well, Adriana was on Watch What Happens Live this week, and Andy looked at her feet and said, "Yo, you have nice feet."
He
who has bad feet though, and she has admitted this. Claudia Jordan.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna go there.
We saw those feet; those were bad. I ain't never seen feet like that. I'm nightmares.
I have. My auntie does pedicures, and she's seen some feet.
Oh well, that's different. I'm not looking at feet every day.
No, not every day, but no. When I would go to my appointment to her early, I would see her other clients, and she would tell me.
I can't.
No, we're not going to do that. But yeah, so.
Oh, God. Well, how are you feeling about the season so far of Miami?
I love Miami from the beginning, from season 1. I've always thought that Miami is the Beverly Hills of Housewives. I think they come, even though I think their fashions are very Miami and very over the top.
Yeah.
But that's Miami. Miami is very gaudy and very over the top and very plastic because it's a lot of plastic surgery. It's very extra. But I've always loved Miami. Marisol's mom used to be my favorite when she used to give them advice back in the day. In the previous seasons, I loved her. And then they would show her old pictures. You could tell that she was a hot thing back in her day. Yeah, so I always love Miami. I get excited every Thursday when it's time to watch it. And I hope they bring it. So, like, are they paid differently versus Peacock versus Bravo? Because, like, are they doing this on Peacock to see what the viewership looks like and to see if they should bring it back to Bravo? And if that's the case, I hope they bring it back to Bravo.
Well, I think everything's moving to streaming, so I don't know if they're going to bring it back to Bravo. And I think they're also trying to separate themselves from Bravo when it comes to how they're filming these shows, because you can see with Miami, they're filming it a little bit differently than the regular Housewives shows. So I think they're trying to lean away from Bravo, and that's why these checks are getting smaller. I don't think they're getting paid a lot to do this, but they don't really need it.
So one day, can you give us one of those quickie movies on YouTube on what the difference is? Because I don't understand the difference in how they're filming it. Is unless they're talking to the fourth wall, I get that, but I don't see the difference so far. I just pay attention to the fashions, and like I said, y'all saw that Larsa had on the same dress that Whitney had on, the same dress that Marlo had on. Yeah, Marlo had on a few seasons ago So yes, I pay attention to those things. Okay. And the restaurant that I went to in Key West is lovely. Not that dress.
I thought I had the image here.
Yeah. So I don't pay attention to how they shoot it and stuff. I just pay attention to the fashions, the restaurants, and the housing, and the rings.
Okay. All right.
The girly stuff. Okay.
Thank you for calling in. Bye. Is Bravo dead? Well, those ratings are. Not all of them. Not all of them. Guys, if you enjoy content like this and you're watching the replay, I want to know your thoughts on the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Miami. We will be live later today for our And Just Like That recap at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. The link is available. Set your reminders. Be here or be square. Thank you to everyone that called in. Thank you to everyone that sent in super chat. And speaking of super chat, let me say thank you to Sherry Lewis. Thank you so much for the super chat. She says, I haven't watched the episode yet, but couldn't miss your review. Love, 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 love your reviews. Always a fun time. Thank you so much, Sherry. And thank you so much for supporting the channel. Appreciate you. And of course, thank you to our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. If you would like to become a member of the channel, head on over to TheKempire.com. Join our texting community here. Let me post it up here. Join our text community at TheKempire.com, and be sure to check out some of the videos that you already missed this past week, because we don't just talk about reality TV or recap reality TV here on the channel. We talk about everything in pop culture. So stay tuned for more news and, of course, our live recap later on today. Thank you all for being here. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you to our mods. Everyone show love to the mods in our live chats. I appreciate you all being here. Oh, wait, sidebar. Someone in my TikTok chat asked the question, what happened to Lisa's voice from season 1 to 3? You know, people mature. People hear themselves on television and then they decide, I'm going to change and be a little different. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, her voice is not the only thing that changed from season 1 to 3. Just saying. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for being here. You know how we like to exit the show. Let's play a little music. I'll see you guys next week. Next week, really? Later.